Hello, my name is Jerome, and tonight we're going to take a look at the good, the bad, and yes, the wicked. Let's do this. It dawned on me upon entering the theater that evening that this was my first opportunity to see a production at the Detroit Opera House. Now, originally the plan was to do a quick overview of the facility, but after having the opportunity to walk around and see the rich history of the theater, I must say that just won't do. So I'm going to do a complete program on the Detroit Opera House in the very near future, so I invite you to be on the lookout for that. Now, before going down to the theater to see this production, I decided to go online and see what the producers were saying. And it goes like this. So much happened before Dorothy dropped in. Wicked looks at what happened in the Land of Oz, but from a different angle. Long before Dorothy arrives, there's another girl born with emerald green skin. Smart, fiery, misunderstood, and possessing an extraordinary talent. When she meets a bubbly blonde who is exceptionally popular, their initial rivalry turns into the unlikeliest of friendships until the world decides to call one good and the other one wicked. You know, many of us grew up watching the original version of The Wizard of Oz, which was produced all the way back in 1939, starring a young Miss Judy Garland as Dorothy. Ray Bolgers was the Scarecrow, and of course Margaret Hamilton was the original Wicked Witch. But throughout the years there's been many versions of the story. Two of my favorites has been both versions of The Wiz, both the theatrical version starring Miss Stephanie Mills, and of course the movie version starring Diana Ross as Dorothy, Nipsey Russell as the Tin Man, and Michael Jackson as the Scarecrow. By the way, that was the first opportunity that Michael Jackson was able to work with producer extraordinaire Quincy Jones. And of course, they went on to make music history. Wow, we knew they would be good together, but who would have known? Wicked is both a prequel and answers many of the questions you may have thought of throughout the years. Like, where did the Tin Man and Flying Monkeys come from? This production allows us to take a look at the other side of the story. The Wicked Witch. Who was she? Where did she come from? Why was she green, and why was she so mean? We are taking on a 2.5 hour plus roller coaster ride throughout the Land of Oz, and I must say, I was thoroughly entertained. We're allowed to see that this character is a loving sister. She cares for those who can't care for themselves, which, by the way, gets her into a whole lot of trouble. She has a love interest, and it will blow you away once you find out who that person is. And she also has a name. It's Elphaba, and this is her story. I now have a whole new level of respect for this character. Now, with not only a good story, but several life lessons to be learned, good costume, nice set design, and a music soundtrack I can listen to over and over again, I feel that this is a production that can be enjoyed by the whole family. So to get the opportunity to go and see Wicked when it comes into your area, you may want to go check it out if you're a fan of The Wizard of Oz and the story, and just finding out more information. And again, it fills in a lot of blanks you may have thought of throughout the year. Go check out Wicked. I think you'll enjoy it. Now, I must say this is a Broadway production, and it brings along a Broadway price tag, so it can be pricey. But again, if you're out for a very special evening with the family or that very special loved one, I think you'll enjoy yourself. Now, if you're interested in finding out any more information about Wicked, I have included a link below to help answer any questions you may have. Final thoughts. This was my very first program, and there definitely was some hurdles and pitfalls to go through, but Glory to God, we made it through. I'd like to thank a few people, my wife, Angela, who's been very supportive of me as I go through these ventures of putting these programs together for you. Thank you, honey. I'd like to thank local businessman Chris Illich, who I had the opportunity to meet last year during his father's memorial, which we had the opportunity to have a very quick personal conversation as to how his family's business had been very helpful to me in my early college years. And he basically encouraged me to get back in the reporting industry, and here I am. Thank you, Mr. Illich. And by the way, we're keeping you and your family in prayer. Would also like to thank young lady you know by as the Queen of Soul, but we know of her as our very own Aretha Franklin. Recently was called home by the Lord to go to her eternal rest. And we like to say we're going to miss you, my sister. We will never ever forget the gifts that you have left us through your music and through your many acts of love. Again, we will miss you, and we're going to keep your family in prayer also. I invite you to continue to be on the lookout for new programs that will be coming in the very near future. And if you have any comments, please feel free to leave them below, and I'll talk to you soon. God bless. Bye.